this recording?
It is now recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cool. All right. What's up, guys? Get in the frame, Sam. Does this work?
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys?
What's up, Mana Pampers? Welcome to some bonus content for I Love You, Mana. I'm in Sisyphus Brewing. I Love You, Mana home turf. I'm with.
This is the home turf?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, what
I'm
else?
learning stuff, man.
Well, this is the location of the monthly Sisyphus Brewing drafts.
Mm-hmm. Very popular, well-attended Sisyphus Brewing draft.
I think they're pretty good. We get like 2 pods pretty regularly. That's nice.
Yeah. Can't complain.
And speaking of a draft, this is what we're doing this episode. We're reviewing the drafts from the Pro Tour. So here, let's make this full stream.
And this was in Spain?
This was in Barcelona.
I think that's in Spain.
That is in Spain. Yes, that's correct. So the format of it's Lord of the Rings draft, and there's 2 drafts. So there was I'm just going to put this on mute, and then we can have it play, and we'll eventually get to the draft portion.
Okay.
But this was day 1 and day 2. There were drafts, and most of the tournament was modern. But we get to watch at least the perspective of 2 drafters. The first draft is going to be from Nathan Steuer's perspective. Now,
sorry, sneezing right off the bat.
It's okay. Only sickos are listening to this.
Okay, all right.
Thing. So
that turned them on.
Yeah, exactly. They're in for it. Yeah. Honestly, they're getting more than their money's worth.
ASMR on sneezing and Magic the Gathering draft.
Is there any way we can get your feet in the shot? Then I think we can complete the experience.
We definitely can.
Okay. I remember
somebody's name is Rich Tan.
Yeah, I mean, what was that? I don't recognize that flag. Is that like the Philippines?
No, I don't know.
I don't think so. But
that sounds like what I get after I'm done golfing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Or a couple rounds of Lester.
Yeah. Lester does not tan.
No, is he just like perma pale?
Mm-hmm.
What is his sun care routine? Like
he oils up.
Really?
Yeah. He lathers.
He needs to protect his skin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is your take on this format before we get too far into it? Because I know you weren't really jiving. You weren't enjoying Lord of the Rings draft at the beginning.
Yeah, I wasn't enjoying it that much. I still don't enjoy it that much. I enjoy it slightly more than I did, but it's definitely not one that resonates with me. Just like the play patterns, I think aren't things that I'm excited to do in Magic. I don't know. It's just the ring mechanic is functional and makes the games interesting, but it's also not a mechanic where I'm excited that I got to I won because I tempted 4 times, or I won because I was looting the whole time because I got to 2 and had a good attack, or that's just not the kind of games that I gravitate towards myself.
Well, that's there were some statistics that came before this, or they're looking at 17lands.com data or whatever, which just shows that really your win rate in this format does directly scale with the number of tempt cards you have in your deck.
Really?
It's just if you have more than 6, then you are getting on board there, and then each card you have more than that just raises it up and up and up. And I guess at some point there's a ceiling, but
yeah, right.
All right, now we're looking at Nathan's first pack. This is for the first draft. And he's got a Nazgul in this pack. His rare is...
I didn't see everything he went through. The rare is the Mary. It's equipment attacking matters.
It really cares about attacking with another legendary creature.
Another legendary.
It's a 2/2. It's a 2/2 2/2 haster. But he's taking the Nazgul.
He didn't even really look at anything else in that pack.
I mean, the Nazgul is so good. There's a question. I've listened to some I guess theory about drafting in this high level event, and some people are squeamish about getting into black because everyone agrees that black is the best color. And so probably there's going to be 3 or 4 black drafters, and look at it, he's putting the black cards right in front. The rare is still in the pack. Now we're looking at pack 2. So he's choosing between the rare, which is the double striking goblin, versus the Torment of Gollum, which is a common black card. Now, what would you take in this spot?
Yeah, I think I would look at the ones that he put to the front first with the rise, but you're probably not going to want to get into a second color. I don't know that I'd be considering this guy.
Yeah, honestly, I would probably take the black card. I would take Torment.
Torment.
The goblin is fine.
When you deal damage Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a double striking goblin, and like it impulsive draws when it hits, but like it's good. Is it good? It's a really good ring bearer, you know, because like
You
it.
can exile 2 cards 1 turn.
Yeah, exactly. But like you need the mana to. You still have to pay the cost to cast them. So now we're looking at pack 1, pick 3, and we're just gonna like fly through these drafts.
Yeah, for me, I'm thinking like I would definitely would have gone with the black card just to stay 1 color.
Yeah,
To commit to 2 in pack 2 is kind of.
I think
Like
maybe
I think the green rise was what's that card?
Rise of the Witch King. Yeah,
I think that's stronger, like as a splash too than a double red.
Yeah,
like committing to that, it just seems strange to me.
Now for pack 3, he's going for Faramir, which Faramir is like not the card that. Okay, so Faramir Field Commander. We're not going to read this card because we don't want to be here for forever. I'm just pausing this video because there was a Vanguard in this pack, the Easterling Vanguard, which is a pretty good black 2-drop. Now, of course, it's they're the black commons are all really good in this set. So like, I think it might have been the only black card in that pack. I can't quite remember, but I think like that card is just a better card than this 4-drop. I mean, Faramir is fine, but it's not something that I want to get into white for.
Yeah, I've struggled to find like the right cards that get into white like early, and I'm usually getting into white like later in the draft.
Yeah, when like the what's the 3-drop, the Aaron Rider of Gondor. When if those like wheel, then it's like okay, then I want to get into white.
But yeah, first or second picking that kind of card. I mean, this is a strong card, but
yeah,
it fits in like a very specific style of deck.
It's like best in black white, which he's like set up to potentially be in. I haven't watched this draft. Oh, this is so this is pick 4, and there's another Mary in this pack. The rare is still in the pack, and there's the uncommon Goblin, Fire Leaper.
A lot of red.
Notably no black.
No black.
So these Pro Tour drafters, they know they're focusing. Oh, okay, he's going for the Mary. They're focusing on modern, but they've all had like some draft prep. They all know that black is the best color, and they all know that like at least 3 people on the table are going to draft black, if not 4. So like,
I think this Mary card is like you're hoping to pick this up in like the Legends deck and like just play it as a throw-in, or I mean to actually take it as like a playable card to me is this early kind of baffling.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of good stuff in this pack, and now we see like there's the Relentless Rohirrim, which is a pretty good 4-drop because it tempts and getting that density of, but he's not going for it.
I feel like he's on like a hard avoid green plan because like in the last pack there was like this was that Stew the Convoys,
Stew the Conies, Conies. That card's okay. It's not a card that I want to get into green for, but I would have taken the Rohirrim there. Okay, now there's a Reprieve in the pack. Okay,
yeah, Quarrel's End. I like that card a lot.
That card is really good because that kind of like a tormenting voice. What did he pick?
Reprieve, I think.
Took a Reprieve. That's kind of tormenting voice effect where it gives you a body. Especially 1/1s are good in this format because they can either be good ring bearers or block ring bearers.
And if you are, I mean, I guess he's only taking 1 black card, right? There's like some black sack, like the Lash, a body is good in those.
Yeah, he did have a black card, but now he's kind of getting
one black card.
There's a 3rd Mary. How many? This is the 3rd. This is pack 1. This is the 3rd Mary that's been opened. He opened a Mary, and now this is the 2nd Mary that he's gotten past.
I just don't think the card's good enough to be taking it that highly. There's the Hobbit Sting, which I think is decent.
I don't like Hobbit Sting, to be honest. But I mean, Mary's good if you have like, it works well with ring tempting. It works well as like, I mean, now he's just probably on a like Boros aggro train. Do you know who Nathan Steuer is, by the way? This is a dude. He's like a really young guy. I mean, he looks young, but he's like won the world championship and a pro tour back to back.
Damn,
it's like crazy.
So I mean, it wheeled.
Yeah, his first card wheeled. So now he can have 3 Marys. And I think he's going to take 3 Marys.
Yeah, that's weird.
Which is, they kind of don't combo with each other because, well, obviously they're legendary, but they want other legendaries in your deck. So now, like, he wants to be in a Legends deck because he needs to have other legends in order to turn it on.
I would definitely take the Lancer here. I mean, if on the path he's on.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, like, he's kind of on Boros or bust, which is kind of nice because he's not in black, so he's not fighting the other drafters for black.
Right.
But, like, okay, he gets some goodies here. There's a pretty good combat trick, Escape from Orthonk, which, if you're in this kind of archetype, you probably want 1 copy. But, like, if I was him, like, you want cheap creatures, you want tempt, and by and large, you want okay, he took the Gimli's axe, but by and large, you want legendaries, right? Because you want to be able to draw something from Mary. You want to be able to attack with a legendary.
All right, just throwing that in.
Yeah, taking the Arwen seems kind of weird here. Like, he's probably not playing that.
No chance.
Like,
green, that's the green blue scry one.
Yeah, and I guess it just says that, like, no one's in the scry deck, and I don't think you really want to be in the scry deck. So you're right. He has 1 at the end of pack 1. He has 1 black card, which is the Nazgul, and basically everything else is Boros. So, kind of his draft is going to depend on the next, the next pack. If he gets hooked up with red and white cards in the next pack, then he's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, getting the Mary on the wheel is insane, but, like, also in terms of, like, the red playables he picked up, like, he's got the Lancer.
Yeah.
The axe is, like, I don't think I've played that card yet.
No, I haven't either.
And then the double red rare that he took second.
Yeah. It's fine. I mean, not like
none of the red commons that I'm looking for to say, like, I'm getting into red.
It's kind of funny that he passed, like, Gimli's Fury when that card is pretty good with Mary because it, like, gets trample. It gets +3/+2 and trample if it's legendary or something like that. So it's actually not bad with Mary because you're going to be attacking with Mary, and Mary's legendary. The fact that he passed, I can't remember what he picked, but he passed the Relentless Rohirrim. That cannot have been right. That card's what you want in this kind of archetype. It tempts. It's like a premium 4-drop. So now we're going into pack 2.
Yeah, and he has no tempt except for the Nazgul, which he's not going to play.
Yeah,
the Lancer.
The Lancer
dies.
I've played like 3 Lancers in, like, a very aggressive deck.
Lancer's great,
but it's not like you can't count it necessarily for tempting.
So now he's looking at Smite. Ooh, some good black cards.
Yeah, Bitter Downfall and Dunlin Crebain, which, if he was in black, these would be awesome cards. But I think he's just going to take the Smite.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to take
he's
black at this point.
He's not going to go back into black. He's, like, passed some good black cards in pack 1.
Yeah, he's pretty locked in, it seems like.
Yeah. Which is, like, I mean, he got kind of paid off because, like, he took a flyer on that Mary and then just got 2 other Marys. And what's also funny is that all the Marys have different arts.
Yeah.
One thing that I like.
How random is this when they make these packs? Are they really just?
I think they literally open a booster. They stamp each one of the cards. You can see, like, the stamp. Like, he's going to take this Aaron Rider of Gondor.
Definitely.
But like, he's passing up, like,
Voracious Felbeast there,
which is one of the best uncommons. But, like, he has to take this white card.
Is there anything he was hoping to wheel here?
There's, like, some red, but, like, I don't know.
I didn't see what it was.
But, like, I mean, that's the problem with, like, whether or not you want to fight for black, right?
Yeah. So best case scenario, he would have another Torment. Last pack, he could have had taken Crebain or Downfall, or that he could have taken. But also in the second pick, if he had taken the green black Rise of the Witch King.
Yeah.
Now he'd be looking at the Old Man Willow.
Oh yeah, there's Old Man Willow in this pack.
I mean, he would just have the green on the splash at this point, obviously, but
but there's also this Great Hall, which would unlock some of his like legend synergy stuff. But it makes sense. He's just going for aggro. He took the book of Marzabul, which is like it's a pretty good saga. It's just, it's aggressive. It's going to help him push damage, make his creatures have menace.
I've had this card be great, and I've had this card just do absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
if they can shut down your creature, obviously, like you're a mass token if that's all you have at that point.
So now he's looking at like another Relentless Rohirrim versus a second Reprieve.
And what's this? Wasn't there a green black rare in there? Wasn't that the
Smeagol maybe? But he's so far away from that. Did he take Reprieve here? He took Reprieve. Yeah.
Well, so, I know he's far away from that, but I'm just saying, what if?
Yeah,
it does seem like he could have been in a green black deck here, like pretty solidly.
Probably.
That's 3, like I think, premium rare uncommon cards.
And green black is kind of the best home for green cards. And now look at this pack. This pack is just stacked with like honestly pretty good green cards. There's a Meriadoc Brandybuck, which is a really good green card. One of the few like good green cards, and even he's taking it here.
What was that other one? Last March of the Ents? I don't know that one.
Was it the rare or?
I think it is this one right here.
Let's back up a little bit.
Yeah, Last March of something. I don't know that card.
I think it's a rare, but it's kind of unplayable.
Oh, okay,
it's it's like a ton of mana, and I think it's kind of like I think it like you choose a creature and then equal to its toughness, you look that many cards and you put whatever creatures in. Like it's a kind of a commander card.
Probably a reason I don't know if it's unplayable.
Yeah, you spend a lot of mana to maybe get value, but like. So now we're looking at a bunch of green cards and like End of Fellowship, which is attempts.
Yeah, that card's very situational.
I mean, you'll run it. It's actually kind of nice sometimes because it does basically say kill target ring bearer, and then you get tempted yourself.
Right.
But like, it's not premium by any means. And I do think like Nathan right now is feeling, he's a little bit just pigeonholed by the fact that, he took all of these Boros cards in pack 1.
Yeah, and he's seeing no red.
Yeah, red's been pretty cut, and there's some just medium white cards. I do kind of like the sword here, just because like Boros is the color of like humans, and he could potentially get an Erkenbrand.
Mary's not a human though, right?
No, Mary's a hobbit. He's got 3 of them. He doesn't have. I don't think he has any other legends other than Mary. I guess ring tempting makes legends, which is good enough. He took the Esquire of the King, the 1-drop.
He already had one of those too.
Speaking of the Book of Mazapul, I had one draft where I had the Book of Mazapul, and before I could pop off of that last chapter, my opponent fear-fired foes me, blew up my army, and killed like 3 of my creatures.
Damn.
And so I was just like, well, that so much for that plan.
That's happened to me with that card too.
There's another Last March of the Ents, but he's taking this Saga, which honestly I've never played, this Book of Tamriel, which is like a delayed reanimator. It puts a creature card from your graveyard into play, and then it's got some other effects too.
I've liked it just okay. I mean, you have to set it up like nicely. Like if you have a land cycler, obviously, like going into that, it's like the best case scenario for it. But
I think Nathan has 0 land cyclers right now.
No land cyclers.
Like, I know, like you have to expect that. Like, okay, looks like it's Gimli, right? Gimli counter kills. Yeah. Like you have to expect with these kind of Pro Tour drafts, because everyone here, even if they're not like draft sickos, they're all like great Magic players. So they're going to take the powerful cards. The decks that each individual drafter is going to have is going to be weaker than like what you would be able to draft on Arena or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. This deck I think is looking pretty shaky.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he's got curve. He's got plenty of 2-drops. Most of them are Mary.
What does he take there?
I don't know. Many partings. Okay, so
that's Search of Lands, right?
Yeah, but he's not going to play that card. I don't think he's
actually
going to play green.
green.
I do like the like decks where you can play like 3 or 4 many partings and cut lands, and then you can just kind of like splash around and use those foods as value. That's kind of nice. But like we're so far away from that here. He's still on the path of just doing like Boros aggro. And I think if he can get in pack 3 like some Rally at the Hornburgs and an Urkenbrand, then maybe we'll get something here.
He's just seen no red. I mean, even the white. I mean, his best card that he has right now is probably the white, the Faramir, or the Nazgul. Like in terms of what would pull me into something, Smite the Deathless, I guess.
And then the white common, the
Gondor.
Errant Rider, which is nice with the Marys and Pippin. Well, he doesn't have Pippin, but he's
3 Marys.
3 Marys.
That's just, what does that do for you?
Well, if you have like cheap ring tempting, if you have a ring bearer, the ring bearer does make the creature legendary, and so that will let you draw into additional gas.
But Mary has to attack as well.
Yeah, but Mary has haste, so
yeah, you get 1 card. I don't know, 2/2
haste is not bad. 2/2 haste is pretty decent.
2/2 haste decent, but gets shut down like so easily.
Yeah.
And you're not incentivized to make it your ring bearer because you want another
creature to be legendary.
Yeah, attacking with it, like, and they're legendary themselves. Like,
what you really want is like a combat trick in order to enable attacks. And right now we don't really have too many. We have the Escape from Orthanc, and I guess the Rush the Room, but I've never played Rush the Room.
Yeah, I've gotten blown out by it one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those things that's going to blow you out because I've never registered it in the deck.
It's like, what could they have?
Rush the Room.
Yeah.
He also has 2 Reprieves. Reprieve is kind of an interesting card in these like aggressive decks, because like it's like it's not a kind of card you want in like a hard control deck because they get the card again anyway. Okay, pack 3, pick 1. There is a Urkenbrand in this pack.
Yeah, I was looking at that, and the Land Cycler and another
Protector.
Yeah,
but I think he has to take Urkenbrand.
And he passed a Protector earlier when he had. I don't think he was quite sure about white yet at that point.
I mean, it would be ideal if the Protector were to wheel, but I think he has to take Urkenbrand.
What do you think about that black rare land that's in there?
What is it?
That's the one where you can amass.
It's pretty good. It's like I've lost that card where like we were just top decking and then like in a situation where creatures trade, but then like because they trade, they get to amass and spend all their mana on that. That's pretty good. But like,
yeah, I found it to just be okay. It reads better before the set came out. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those cards you read, it's like, oh, this is gonna be sick.
Yeah.
But in practice, I've found it to be.
This pack is stacked. Look at this.
Yeah.
Foray of Orcs, Smite the Deathless. There's a Voracious Fell Beast, which he obviously can't take.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to take the Foray of Orcs. Or actually, this is a tough pick. What would you pick here?
I don't think he's got that much amass being in white. And even in his red, he doesn't. What is he amassing?
I mean, he's got the book. The book does amass.
Book, yep.
And I think just a Flametongue Kavu, which I don't know if Flametongue Kavu did 2 damage. I think it did a little bit more. But like a 4-mana 2/2 that does 2 damage is still decent. And there's a chance of it being better.
Yeah.
But like I think it's
a tough pick. Yeah.
Okay,
I think the instant speed on the Smite.
Smite is a really good card. Okay. This is a tough pack too. Shire Sheriff, which is a good white card. I don't know how much token generation he has. Then there's Is there a rally at the Hornburg?
I don't think so.
It's
Battlescar Goblin.
okay.
And what does this card do? Okay.
You sacrifice a token and then it like banishing priest summing.
Huh.
It's a good card, but you need to have enough token generation. Yeah, there wasn't a rally at the Hornburg. It was the
which I don't. What does he have for token generation? Just the foray that he just got, and the
he doesn't have a lot. Like maybe he's got an Easterling Farmer. And speaking of that, there's that in this pack, and there's the Rohirrim, which I would take Rohirrim here.
He's thinking about the farmer.
I guess he needs it now because he needs the token generation for the sheriff.
What is this black card that's hiding in here?
I think it's a Torment of Golem.
Oh, okay.
And there's a Gandalf Sanction, so that's going to go to whoever is it player. I don't know if you listen to like Lords of Limited or whatever, but they're like super high on the Izzet deck in this format, to the point that they're like talking about in the Pro Tour they would pass like Claim the Precious in order to try to get in that deck, which I think is kind of silly. Okay, well, I can't remember. We're at pick 5, and he's going to take the Aaron Rider here. That's a pretty good pickup for him.
Yeah,
because he needs a token generation, but he like needs the kind of legend synergy stuff, and it plays really good with Mary. So after this draft is completed, we'll take a look at Nathan's record.
Do you know how he did?
I don't, but we can look it up. I think like,
oh man,
so he's got another. This is pick 6. He's got another reprieve. He already has like, 2 reprieves in his deck. How many reprieves can you actually run? Yeah. It's tough because you're an aggro deck. You need to have like a density of creatures.
Yeah, you're hopefully tapping out, keeping the board pressure going versus like pass, bounce your 3-drop.
Yeah, I mean, like you're ideally like hoping to like, okay, this is a good pack for him.
Yeah,
because like Lady of Rohan Eowyn is pretty powerful. She can she's a good 3-drop.
She's a legendary.
She's a legend. That's a good point.
Enables good attacks with Mary with the vigilance for first strike.
You usually find like those 2 abilities like really you either enable attack or like protect your life total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, wow. All right, that's a good one for him.
So Shadowfax, Lord of Horses. Kind of funny that there are only 2 horses in this set. Yeah. There's Shadowfax and there's Build a Pony.
Yeah.
I wish there was like a common horse so you could like build a horse travel deck and draft. But there's like literally 2 horses. But yeah, a 4/4 haster for 5 is fine.
Yeah. I've had this card be better as like a surprise 4/4 haster than the fact that like puts another creature into play.
Yeah, that's. But
usually, that card wheeled.
Yeah,
the rare land.
I mean, I think it kind of makes sense. Usually, games don't last long enough for that ability to matter. But sometimes, if that ability matters. The other thing is that the drafters are competing for black, right? So if you're drafting black, you are kind of worried about making playables. So you need to prioritize like cards.
Sure.
Versus like your land slots. But like since Nathan's not drafting with black, that's less of an issue.
I kind of be curious to recreate from what the cards we saw, because obviously changing his lane would change what you see, but
you could only do it for the first 8 picks.
Yeah, there was like a decent, I think, green black. Less on the black, obviously, but the cards he saw that were green black were pretty strong. He had the Old Man Willow. He had the
Rise of the Witch King at the end, getting the farmer because you can you need the token generation.
You need the tokens. He also saw the in green white the Aragorn rare that does the counters.
For
Ring Tempt. So I think, I don't know, just seemed like he locked in off those Marys, and I don't know that he really got paid off for that.
But I think he did pretty decent. His day one was 6-2.
Wow.
So that I think includes draft. I don't know his like draft record. Actually, I can probably look it up. But like now he's moving on to deck construction.
Yeah, I think for me, if I drafted this deck on Arena in Diamond level, I would think it would be like a 3/3 deck.
But like keep in mind that the power level of everyone's deck is going to be lower than on Arena.
Sure.
Because everyone here is like drafting the good cards.
I just wouldn't walk away from the table feeling very good about that one.
No, I think that's. I mean, the deck has a plan for 100%. You know, the plan is you get Mary, and then you get Aaron Rider of Gondor, and then you hopefully get one tempt, and then you just like start attacking and start drawing cards. But like, there's a lot of filler.
A lot of filler.
Okay, let's see if we can see his record from the event. Okay, Pro Tour, Lord of the Rings, sick. Dang, I can't get his draft record. Okay, if I remember later, I will edit in his draft record when I find it. But let's move on to Kai Budde's draft. So this is for day 2.
Wait, did the comments section on YouTube tell us? Let's just see if they.
Okay, there are 3 comments. Nathan Steuer is such a boss and very well drafted. So I don't think that there's quite the level of detail we're looking at. I think we could probably. I wonder if it's on MTG Melee, which is like I don't know if they're using that for draft records, or if they're just using it for constructed tournaments. It would be kind of crazy if they're using that for like modern tournaments, or not modern tournaments, for like official Wizards Pro Tours on MTG Melee. They used to do that during the pandemic, but like now that'd be kind of crazy.
So he says 6-2. After grilling day 1, we crushed day 1 of the PT with our Tron build.
So Tron is the modern deck that he ran.
Right. So that includes his draft.
Yeah, I think it includes his draft results. So his first 3 matches of that 6. So 3 of that 8 represent draft. But I mean, I could see him going 2-1 with that deck.
2-1, yeah.
I mean, he's a very good player. He definitely made day 2. So, yeah, cool. Let's see, pastimes, PTQ. Yeah, okay, it's not on MTG Melee. That's okay. Like I said, I will find the official records.
So he's either 1-2 or 2-1 with that deck.
He has to be. I think probably he went 1-2, if I had to guess. I would be kind of surprised if he trophied.
Yeah. Hey, wait, why are we wearing the headset? We haven't heard any sound in this
No, we're not.
the entire time.
I mean, we could take it. We could turn on the sound if it's relevant.
That'll be distracted.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go to Kai Budde's draft. And meanwhile, I'll look at. I'll try to find the results.
Wow, these are the kind of ads you get on YouTube. Hunting.
Yeah, man.
You're watching a Magic the Gathering video and you get a hunting ad.
Yeah, and YouTube knows me well. Well, this is my like work laptop, and I don't use it for YouTube that often.
So you watch a lot of hunting stuff.
Yeah, I love. Look at that guy. He's got the
camo.
He's got the camo. He's got the orange. He's got this big buck.
They're not wearing orange because they're bow hunting. It's not nearly as dangerous.
Yeah,
you don't have to wear. You don't have to wear blaze orange when you're bow hunting.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Because
you're sneaking.
Yeah.
Other hunters can shoot you. Just
What? But like
you're closer.
Okay, but like someone could still shoot you if you're.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. But it's arrows, so they hopefully you're close enough that they're like, oh yeah, that is a human.
Oh, got you. Whereas if you're like further away, someone can just like.
Yeah, they're like, what's that rustling in the brush over there? Yeah,
pop,
yeah,
pop.
Yeah,
and that's my ass. Okay. Okay, so MTG Pro Tour.
Okay, this dude's got some fucking style.
Right. Oh,
Who is that guy?
You're talking about Cedric Phillips over
Is
here?
he on the right?
Yeah, on the right. Yeah, I
So this is a different day?
This is day 2.
Day
right?
2.
This is day 2. So you had to qualify for this.
Well, we don't see our boy again, do we?
I don't think.
Is there one table on day 2?
No, this is it's not cut to top 8. Day 3 is cut to top 8.
Okay.
So this is day 2 where we're looking at Kai Budde. But this table is stacked with Simon Nielsen, Greg Orange, Jacob Beersley, who ended up winning the tournament. Spoiler alert.
So
Christian Calcano.
Naive question about these formats, I guess. So like, do you advance to day 2 for the draft just only based on the draft portion?
No,
or
it's
your
combined.
whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think you needed in day 1 you needed to at least get a 50% win rate 4-4 in order to get day 2. And I think it's like based on breakers. So I think about 50% of people move on to day 2.
Wow.
And then from day 2, maybe a little bit less. And then from day 2, it cuts to top 8.
Okay.
So stakes are pretty big on day 2. It's kind of generous on day 1. You just need 50%. You just need to win half your matches versus the best Magic players in the world.
Yeah.
And speaking of best Magic players in the world, Kai Budde is like, old school pro. One of those guys who was like, playing since the 90s, in tournaments since the 90s.
Wow.
Right? Like, he's one of those guys. And it is kind of like crazy. Okay, so this is pack 1 from him. His rare is Sauron the Necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other good black cards. There's like Sam's Desperate Rescue. You don't want to be really first picking that.
No, but you definitely want one of those if you're in black, I feel like.
No, for sure. It's really nice being able to buy back your best card from the graveyard. Oftentimes, like you buy back your land cycler or like a creature you threw in the yard from ring tempting.
Yeah. How do you take anything but that one at this point?
So he takes Sauron. Sauron the Necromancer is not like incredible. It's like there are probably black commons that would take over this. Like I would probably take Claim the Precious over Sauron the Necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
But like that pack was not that powerful.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a Grand, a Gimli, a Smeagol.
And this is another, Smeagol's good. I'm not sure if I want to get into black-green for Smeagol. Grand, I'm not super jazzed about. Woe's Pathfinder is good, but I'm not sure if I want to get into green. It's kind of funny. The best cards in this pack are green, and Kai went on that direction. He took Smeagol here, which I kind of get because like it feels like you kind of have to take a green card out of that pack since like everything else was kind of poopy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess the other best card would be Woe's Pathfinder or Generous End.
And then the black was that Nasty End? That's the sack draw.
Which is not something that you necessarily want. So there's a Uruk-hai Berserker, which is, a good green common. And there's a Frodo Baggins.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. The most so far of what I've seen.
So like, this is actually, there was a whole thread about this pick on Twitter, where I think Kai ends up picking this Uruk-hai here. And one of the hosts of Lords Unlimited posted saying that he would have taken Frodo and like gone for a Legends deck, try to pick up those great halls of the Citadel. And what Kai basically said was like, actually, I listened to like an interview with him, and he basically said about that pick, like, hey, I didn't have any great halls at this point. I, only drafted this set 15 times, if even. Like I was not like I was aware of that deck, but I was not confident in my ability to like build it. So I would just win for the black card while I could get black cards.
Had he taken the Frodo, I think I would be looking at more so at the exile white effect on that pick. I can't remember what that card's called. The 5-mana exile 3 if it's tapped.
Oh, the banish from Edoras.
Yeah.
Yeah, that card's not bad. You kind of want it in your controlling white decks. The white removal in this set's pretty terrible, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's one of the better ones.
Yeah,
And there's one of this
wanna
in this
take
next
another
pack.
one right away.
And there's also another Haunt, which is the one that he picked last pick. Haunt is, fine black common, except that like there's a million fine black commons. I think he's going to take a second Haunt.
Yeah, the Haunt to me is like playable, but I really hope if I'm gonna run multiple, like that I have like either the Food Maker dude, the 4/5 for 5 in black.
Oh,
Tap,
got you.
one
That
tap.
sacrifice, yeah.
Yeah,
Like some sack outlet.
some level of making use of it rather than just I'm getting a scry.
Yeah. Or like Smeagol, not Smeagol, Gollum, the patient plotter, the one that you can sacrifice a creature to bring it back from the graveyard.
Yeah.
I think he's going to take Quick Beam here. And this is kind of like, we're kind of seeing a similar story to the first draft, whereas Nathan like kind of pigeonholed him a little self into Boros.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Kai is thinking, okay, I'll be Golgari because he's got now Smeagol and he's got Quick Beam. I guess he doesn't have to be Golgari. He can give up those picks.
Yeah, and no matter what path he took to this point, I don't think there's a card here.
I mean, this pack
you
is
want
pretty.
to play. There's
the only one I really would want is like the Stewards of Gileoth. He took the Ring Sight, which I've never played that card, to be honest. This is the mirror tempt, and then you tutor up legendary, which just seems pretty like I guess it tempts. You can't like downplay any card that tempts that much. Okay, he took the Wizard Rocketeer. There's no black card. There's no green card in that pack, which, I mean, probably if you're Kai, you cannot be too jazzed about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the next pack here. There's a Chance-Met Elves, which I've only played. I don't think I've ever played this card. It's a card that like gets +1/+1 on whatever you scry.
The alternate art one.
I don't know.
Let's see what that was.
I think it's a Legolas. The Simic Legolas, which is a pretty bad card.
Yeah, that card's.
It's a 2/3.
So weird.
I don't even know if it has.
It's like
reach.
untap when it scries.
Yes, and then whenever
I think it does have reach.
Whenever a creature, one of the Legolases has reach. The mono green Legolas for sure has reach, but I don't know if this one does.
Damn, the other one should.
Okay.
Oh, there he gets the.
He gets the 4/5. This is pack 1, pick 6 or whatever. The patrol. I think
that works with what he's at.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't need to be green here, but he is getting some green goodies. I don't know what goodies.
Yeah, I don't know if I call them goodies.
There's like they are green playable cards, but I don't think anyone wants to play Lothlorien Lookout.
Yeah, I'd rather run one of what he just picked up than I would like if I had to choose between those two.
The Bombadil
I'd run one of that versus the 1/3 scry. Because he's not even looking at any scry synergies right now.
Yeah, and he picks up this Grey Havens land, which is kind of terrible. It's a colorless scry land.
Yeah, he's choking out these now.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Pro Tour draft in kind of a nutshell. Like, all of the good cards are just gone. Like, no one, there is no Rube here that's going to be passing, like, like, I don't know. What's a card that like people didn't like Birthday Escape, right? Mm-hmm. That's a card that like if you're not an experienced drafter or experienced with a set, you're like, this does nothing. Mm-hmm. I'll pass it. The Birthday Escapes are not getting passed in the Pro Tour.
No.
So he's looking at his pack 1 picks, and like he definitely wants to be black. He doesn't need to be black.
Black's his best color, though.
I mean, yeah, he only has 3-4 green cards. He's got like 2 Bombadil songs,
6 black playables.
Yeah, so based on what he gets in pack 2, he could pivot to another color, but for sure he wants to stay in black. And he has a Smeagol. I thought for a second it was the Gull, but no, it's Smeagol. I mean, Smeagol's still a good card.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one of those cards that's like, I mean, he has sack synergies. Like it triggers when one of your creatures die, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those things where it's like, the dream is, okay, you've got the patrol, you've got a Haunt of the Dead Marshes,
Yep.
and then you play Smeagol with, mana to spare, you sacrifice your Haunt, you trigger, and then you just start going off. But now they're going in for pack 2.
Yeah, this is, I mean, like the nasty end. Not that I want to pick that highly, but in this kind of deck, I would want 1.
Oh, for sure. Because, like, there isn't, outside of ring tempting, you don't have really much card filtering in these colors.
Right.
So you need to tempt, and then nasty end helps you get up on cards, which is really important if you're like looting a whole bunch. Here, let me see if I can get his results before this whole thing starts.
Don't spoil it.
Well, I won't spoil it, but I don't want to be a situation before where. Okay, great.
I suppose knowing if he makes. Okay, now he's got Rise of the Witch King. Orcish Bowmasters, obviously you're taking that.
Yeah, I mean that's one of like the top 10 rares in
and
the
Acclaim
set.
the Precious. Wow, what a pack.
I mean, he has to take Bowmasters.
Yeah, it was this one where he's like, I mean, he has to know that card's. I mean, it's already in the Vintage Cube on MTGO, right?
I'm sure it is. That would make sense. I don't play MTGO, but like that card's just disgusting. So okay, he took the Orcish Bowmasters.
He knew what was up.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing Tron, but Orcish Bowmasters is a 4 of in Rakdos Scam, which.
So he's seen it from
constructed.
In Monitor.
Yeah, for sure. He knows what he knows what he's got. Don't lowball him. Okay.
Well, then weren't you saying that he was like,
he's only drafted
15 times?
Yeah, exactly. So but he's a pro Magic player. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
So here's a question. A question of which tree folk he's going to take here. I think I would take the Land Cycler.
Yeah, I think the Land Cycler is too difficult to pass.
It's like, it is tough because the Enraged Hjorn, that does tempt, which is pretty good. But like, yeah, he takes the Cycler, which makes sense. And honestly, if any like card was going to wheel, it probably would be. I'm not saying the Hjorn would wheel, but like if there's no other green drafter, the Horn will wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another Horn in this pack. There's also a Desperate Rescue, and there's another Generous End, which is kind of a tough pick.
I think I'm on Desperate Rescue here, just off the. You have like enough like good creature cards that.
There's also a Easterling Vanguard, which is a good 2-drop in black, which he might need. I don't know what the look of this deck is. I think he's between the Vanguard and the Rescue, it seems. And he takes the Rescue? Yeah. Okay. It does work really well with the Generous End, just being able to get the end back. And I've had situations where like I've cycled the Generous End, got a land, and then Desperate Rescued it, and then cycled the end the second time.
So the Black Land Cycler. What's the green card? I don't know that one.
It's Celeborn. It's like a Scry payoff card.
Okay.
He's taking the Troll.
That one there was the green payoff or the Scry payoff. What does it do?
I think it's whenever you attack with an elf, you scry 1, and then whenever you scry, Celeborn gets like +1 until end of turn
for as many times you scry. Or is that a different one?
I think that's the one.
Yeah, that one's not good.
It's a 4-mana 3/3 with
I definitely would have taken what he took there.
Yeah, I think he's right. I think he's going to take the Easterling Vanguard here.
Again though, with this draft.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's what the Lords Unlimited were saying in the tweets, is that he could have had a Legends deck in this seat for sure.
You think? I haven't been clocking the
there was a Great Halls right there
that
he could have taken without giving up much. And then the last pick too, There was the green red landfall.
A Strider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is like for 4/4.
Yeah.
Decently playable.
And then he would have had Frodo too.
He would have had Frodo. He would have had.
And Frodo is really like the payoff for that archetype because like it tempts you whenever you play Legend, and then that's how you just like turbo out the tempting.
I mean, I think compared to the last draft, I would rather be in this deck.
For sure.
But yeah, I definitely think there was a lane to pivot.
I mean, pretty early on, but yeah. I mean, I don't like his deck is still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't complain when you get Bowmasters and you have black playables to back it up.
Yeah, for sure. And his green cards are like the best green cards. The question is like, he said that he felt that there was another green drafter in this pod. This is pack 2. I can't. What are we like? Pick 8 right now. So like there's a Brandywine Farmer, which I think is the worst green common. Like you're obviously not taking that.
You're not taking that. There's the Grand, which wow, that wheel.
Oh, Rise of the. I mean that's great.
Insane.
Now, you are extremely happy if you're Kai here.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine passing that and thinking you would get that back.
Because like that's a card that like someone would consider splashing.
Definitely.
And this is a card where like each player sacrifices a creature, and then if you sacrifice a creature, and you got the Enraged Huron back too.
Yeah.
If you sacrifice a creature, then you get to reanimate something.
Right. And he's got the cheap black creatures that he doesn't care about. And he's got the Vanguard.
And he's got the land cyclers.
Oh yeah, he gets this guy back too, the one I was just talking about.
The dwarf?
No, the red and green.
Oh,
4/4.
Oh, Strider wheeled.
Yeah, Strider wheeled.
Nice. So yeah, if he was in the Legends deck, how many Halls of the Great Citadel do you feel like you need to get in order to play that deck?
I think 2. I mean, minimum of 2.
Minimum 2.
Yeah, I think ideally 3 plus.
3 would be nice. It's just tough because like they only obviously tap for Legends, and so like you like kind of need to treat Legends in your deck like they're another color, right? So it's a little bit awkward sometimes.
Yeah. There's a couple other cards that you don't like want to play necessarily, like the Wizards Rockets.
Yeah. I don't think
Inherited Envelope.
Yeah.
Can be like. I think it depends also how, because sometimes you pick up Legends that do span the 5 colors, but other times you are presented where it's like, I'm only hitting 4 or I'm only hitting 3.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of reduce and still be in like a pseudo Legends deck splashing something.
Yeah. Focusing on a couple colors. But it is like really nice if you've ever played that kind of deck where you go like Frodo on turn 2 into Bilbo Retired Burglar on turn 3, and then it's just like now you're just like, I think that just like either brings you to level 3 of the ring or level 4. It's crazy because like Frodo tempts you when it comes in, and then Bilbo tempts you when it comes in, and then also you trigger off of Frodo, so then you're on 3. And then if you any other like tempt, then you're at 4 on like if you played like, I mean, what kind of deck? I don't know what kind of deck you would be, but if you played Birthday Escape on turn 1, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, being able to get that far on the ring ladder that quick.
You'd have to go Island turn 1.
Yes, and then Great Hall 2.
So yeah, Great Hall 2, Frodo.
Yeah, and then your opponent's just like, what the heck is happening?
Yeah, then you need another land.
Yeah.
And Bilbo.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be insane, but doable.
It's doable, but like, what kind of deck are you? You're like blue-green or blue-white Legends.
Yeah, I think the one thing he didn't see in green was any of the like cheap fixing.
Yeah, like the Many Partings or Woe's Pathfinders. Woe's Pathfinder is like one of the best green commons because like it's this mana dork early, but like once you get 7 mana, that ability to pump and give trample Well, speak of the devil, there's many partings in this pack.
Mhm.
And a Meridoc Brandy book, which I mentioned last draft. That card is pretty good.
It's a legend.
And it's a legend. It's a lot better than Peregrine Took, which is the 3-mana 2/3 that like doubles your food production.
Great halls.
And there's a Great Hall. There's a lot of stuff in this pack.
I think I would take the Orcish Medicine here. I don't think the 1/1 Death Touch Spider is anything to write home about.
You take Orcish Medicine here?
Yeah.
No. I would take.
I don't want this spider.
I would take Mary.
Mary? Okay.
Mary just like produces food. It is a legend for your synergies. I mean, I know we don't have Frodo, but like the spider is fine. The spider is good in some like matchups where like sometimes they can't deal with that blocker if they like built a big army. So there's a Celeborn in this pack. There's a Smite the Deathless, which obviously you can't take. Shadowfax, Rush the Room, Grishkanok. If you were in the Legends deck, you would take Grishkanok here, 100%.
Totally.
And then you'd be like, well, I'm a genius. I get to take, this like 61% rare. But I guess he just hates the Smite the Deathless here.
Yeah, weird.
Well, I mean, there's no good card for his deck here, so he needs to take something.
Totally.
And so Smite, like maybe there's a world where you splash it, but I think I probably would have taken Grishkanok and just like hoped like, okay, maybe I can pick up a Great Hall, I can pick up a Woe's Pathfinder, and maybe I can splash it.
I mean, the Lords Unlimited had to be. That's why they were tweeting about this draft, I assume, because this dude had the shot at the Legends deck.
I mean, yeah, look at this. There is a Theoden, right, which triggers off of humans, and it's a legend.
And the Faramir.
He takes the Theoden here, but obviously he's not going to be playing this. Like unless he like gets past, 2 Great Halls later this pack. And I think I mean, there's the Woe's Pathfinder and many partings, but you're the one who like pointed this out. And there's is it an Erkenbrand or is it Eowyn? There's a red legend in this pack. It's at the bottom here. He's not taking it. I think it's Erkenbrand. Which, I mean, he has to take the Woe's Pathfinder.
Is that the one that pumps your humans?
Yeah, whenever you play a human. He gives them +1/+0. But yeah, if you were in the Legends deck, that would be something that you'd be happy to have.
Yeah. And honestly, also in the Legends deck, I think the Elven Scry card isn't unplayable, the Farsight, just because he can draw you a card, but then also set you up for... I mean, you're looking for such specific cards. That Scry 3 is a pretty deep look for green at 1 mana. It's 1 mana, right?
Yeah, it's 1 mana.
Yeah. I mean, not ideal, but
it
has more function than some of these cards he's taking now. Obviously, like these cards are not going to make the cut.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great pack for him because he gets a second Quick Beam. But yeah, like it's the kind of thing where like a lot of these legend decks are base green because they can just like get some additional fixing. Wait, did he not take Quick Beam?
He did that.
He took Bag and Porter.
Oh.
I'm not sure if that's right. I mean, like I get that it's another 6-drop, and maybe he doesn't want 2 6-drops, but like whenever you resolve Quick Beam, you just kind of win. And it's actually nice. Like you can play Quick Beam into a second copy of Quick Beam, and like buff your remaining Quick Beam, like the original. Yeah. And
you double trigger, I assume. Right?
Yeah. So it is like playing a second Quick Beam is really good.
+4/+4 and trample the 2 creatures. There's another Great Hall.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, like this deck isn't bad. And he even passed the Great Hall.
Kind of sucks that he's going into pack 3 though. I mean, he's gotten no black, right?
Yeah, basically. Well, he's got no black.
Yeah.
So like he cannot be happy here. What do you take here?
Spirit Summoned.
Oh, the white card. Like this
No way
pack.
he's playing that.
This pack 3 has been like honestly almost nothing for Kai here.
Nothing.
And now we're like rounding out. We're like almost on the wheel.
And he can't even look at the. I mean, if he's in the Legends deck, Shadowfax is like a pretty easy choice here, I think.
I mean, that's not a card that necessarily I want to be picking for the Legends deck. Because like, you have to imagine that like if you're playing the Legends deck, a lot of the time you're going to be behind because like you're going to have mana trouble sometimes, and Shadowfax is an aggressive card. But like you consider it if your mana is good enough.
Yeah, I mean, but if you get Great Halls out, I mean, it does. You can play it a turn early, I guess.
There's Shortcut to Mushrooms, which is just like card is as close to a 2-mana do nothing as possible. It's like whenever you sacrifice a food, you put a +1/+1 counter on something. It's like,
yeah.
Wow.
Pack 1 and 2, I would have been feeling like, wow, I got this deck is insane. Pack 3 ends up with nothing.
Yeah, like I guess there's a Enraged Huarn, the Woes Pathfinder, the Spider if we're being generous.
Yeah, maybe the Bag End Porter just as a 4-drop. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the rest of his curve looks like, but
I'm really surprised he passed up that quick beam. I don't think that's right. I get that he's like, do I need 2 6-drops in my deck? But like, that's one of the better 6-drops. I wonder what he has to say about this. Maybe I haven't gotten to that part of the interview where he's talking with another pro. There's like a video where he's talking to another pro about like his draft. I wonder what he would say about passing it. He's just gawking at his Bowmasters right now.
it's like, God, I got one of the good ones.
But like,
is that worth money? Is that
Bowmasters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like,
and that's the full art.
Yeah. I think
What's that go for?
I think probably like $40-$50.
Nice. He's at least got that.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, he's playing for like real money in the tournament. I think.
Yeah.
I think he does make.
He's still looking at it.
I think he does go. I wonder if he's like.
What's this?
I think he's like talking to the judge. I mean, maybe he's worried that like the card is like damaged somehow, and it might be scuffed.
Oh shit!
Because like it's one of those things where like if the card is damaged somehow, they'll have to issue him a replacement, so it doesn't like. There can't be any allegations of him cheating.
Yeah.
By like knowing where his Bowmaster is.
Yeah, right.
But like, what do you want to guess Kai's record is?
This is day 2.
This is day 2.
He's playing 3 rounds.
3 rounds of this deck, so classic draft. And this is decked right here. So if you wanted to look,
that's what he ended up with.
2 Generous Ends. Well, I won't read the whole deck, but he's got 3 Cyclers. He's got,
Yeah.
This is it's a reasonable deck. He did end up playing Celeborn. He did end up playing the Chance-Met Elves.
Mm-hmm. If I was on a arena playing like diamond-ish level, I would think I would get like just slightly better than the last one we saw, like 4-3 or 5-3. I'm gonna guess he went 2-1 with this.
He went 2-1 with this, yeah. And we don't know exactly what Nathan got. I'm guessing Nathan probably got 2-1 based on his record, going 6-2 in the tournament overall.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like this is the thing with like these kind of pro tour drafts is that you're drafting the best players, even if they're not limited junkies. They're good players. They know what the good cards are. There's the other thing is that like these players, they need to test modern, right? Mm-hmm. By and large, their performance in this pro tour is going to matter by their modern performance. They play 6 games of limited, and they play like probably 12 or something games of modern.
Yeah.
So like, your performance in modern matters a lot more. So they spend a lot more time on it.
Right.
But yeah, deck looks pretty good.
Yeah.
For the seat. I definitely get
Legends deck.
The Legends deck would have been sick.
I think there was something there.
And I think like
if he didn't know about it.
He said he knew about it, but he never drafted it before.
Okay.
So
I think that's a tough deck to get into because like you kind of gotta commit early.
Yeah,
I think.
So in that pick, it was the Uruk-hai Berserker versus Frodo.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things where you take Frodo and then maybe you like speculate a couple other cards and then you realize that this isn't like open.
Yeah.
And then you just train wreck. Versus I'm gonna take the card in the color that I want to get into and make sure I can get some black playables, which he does. His black cards aren't incredible except for really Bowmasters.
Yeah.
Sauron's
like okay.
Yeah, Sauron's okay, basically. And then his tempt, like what he said is that like he had saw maybe like 3 or 4 tempt cards total. And so he's got 2 Enraged Hurons, he's got Smeagol, which can tempt a whole bunch.
Yeah, he's got the Rescue.
And he's got the Rescue. And he's got Bombadil's Song. But I think that's basically it.
Oh, Bombadil's Song tempts you?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, nice.
But I'm not. It's still not that good of a card.
No, I think it's a reluctantly playable green card.
Yeah,
like if you have something worth protecting, sort of card.
Okay, so we looked over these drafts. Do you have any sort of closing thoughts? I didn't really watch too many of the games of this draft portion. I think the drafts are usually the most interesting part, though.
My closing thoughts are I'm ready to escape to Eldraine. Wait, what's the next set called?
Oh yeah, it's the Wilds of Eldraine.
Wilds of Eldraine.
Yeah,
I'm ready to return to the Wilds of Eldraine.
I am excited for that set. Like,
if it's anything like the last Eldraine set, I will be over the moon.
It's not going to be as busted.
They told the design team just go hog wild.
I think they probably told the design
team reprint.
the Oko Redemption arc stats now.
Yeah. It's just a +1 on the food. Make a food. That's all they changed.
Okay, so it's the same thing. So it's +2 is +1.
Yeah.
That balances it out.
Yeah.
I think okay. My fear is that there's what's Eldraine? Everyone's scared of Eldraine because of how busted the first set was.
Yeah, the first set was insane.
So it's be careful. So I'm a little bit worried it's going to be like that. But one weird observation that I had is that food is in the Lord of the Rings set.
Yeah.
And so I thought, they're not going to do food in the Eldraine set because it's in Lord of the Rings set.
Yeah.
Why would you do food back to back? But they already spoiled the food card.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I guess it's going to be in this.
It kind of plays in with the lore or whatever, being a fairy tale land, I think, with the food.
Snacks.
But there's also a bonus sheet with this with this Eldraine, so I'm kind of excited about that.
That's kind of crazy because it seems like they're doing more and more of that. There's a bonus sheet in March of the Machine, and there was
Strixhaven,
and in Brothers War.
Okay,
so this is the 4th bonus sheet.
Yeah, as a drafter, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I think it makes it more interesting, a little more variety. A lot like with March of the Machine, it's it makes it so it's different. The same color pair can have different archetypes. So blue green is this, or it's this. There's a little more flexibility and a little more getting into a specific deck that you're kind of seeing and making up. And I think in Lord of the Rings, it's and most draft sets, it's blue red does this or green black does this, and it kind of is more streamlined. So
there really is only one secret deck in this format, which is the Legends deck.
Yeah.
And it's pretty telegraphed what it is, whereas in March of the Machine, there was blue-white Knights. There's also blue-white Phyrexian Transforms.
Yeah.
And they were different decks, even though they're the same color pair. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think the bonus sheet just enables that a little bit more. So hopefully, I assume Adventures are coming back.
Yeah, Adventures are back. They confirmed that.
That's all I need.
Yeah, that's a great mechanic.
Best mechanic.
So we'll see you drafters in the Wilds of Eldraine.
In the Wilds of Eldraine.
And I love you, Mana.
I love you, Mana.
Thanks, Sam, for doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We did it.